the truth. Hey! No one be mine. What do I see? Hey! Yeah, she's walking back to me.
Yes, so Hairless here. Today we have our second home free performance from the sing-off. This is Oh Pretty Woman. I love this song, I know it very well. We grew up listening to him. Fun fact, one member of my family's middle name is actually named after Roy Kelton Orbison's middle name. When I went to search this into YouTube, I saw that Home Free have quite recently released the studio version of this same song. I'm not going to listen to that today, I'm going to go with the sing-off performance, but I think it would be cool to do the studio version at a later date and react to that and maybe compare it to this version, see if there are any differences. So today we have the sing-off performance of Oh Pretty Woman. Let's get straight into it.
Pretty woman walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I like to meet. Pretty woman, ooh. I don't believe you, you're not the truth. Hey! No one could look as good as you. Mercy, pretty woman, won't you pardon me? Pretty woman, I couldn't help but see. Pretty woman, ooh. You look lovely as could be. Hey, are you lonely just like me? Pretty woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, talk a while. Pretty woman, give your smile to me. Pretty woman, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty woman, look my way. Pretty woman, say you'll stay with me.
This is great. This is really great. It's so fun. You know, the audience clapping in the background. I see it's quite short, so I think let's just carry on to the end. And then I'll pick out my favourite, all the most interesting parts from throughout.
Me. 'Cause I need you. I'll treat you right. Come with me, baby. Be mine tonight. Pretty woman, don't walk on by. Pretty woman, don't make me cry. Pretty woman, ooh. Hey, hey, what do I see? Hey, yeah, she's walking back to me. Whoa, pretty woman.
That was class. I love that. What a fun performance. That was great. Yeah, like I said, you could just hear the audience clapping along throughout as well. I'm going to have a lot of fun going back through that and picking out my favourite parts because there were a lot of them. So the only other home free sing-off performance I've seen is Ring of Fire. That was my first reaction to them. Where in that they started with this nice, almost choral opening. The opening to this could not be more different from that, and I like that. It shows a complete variety in style that Home Free are able to do. Also, to kind of exaggerate this was their fourth performance, and Ring of Fire was their third performance, so this was the performance directly afterwards. So as I said in the intro, I know the original song really well, so I'll probably be drawing some comparisons between the original and their arrangement of the original. The original song, everyone knows the opening. It starts off with just the beat, and then it has that famous guitar riff, outlining an E7 chord. Home Free also open with just the beat. But then after the beat, they just go straight into
Pretty woman walking down the street.
Who knows why? It's a stylistic choice. Maybe it could be due to the time constraint of the performance. Is this a complaint of mine? Not at all. I like it actually. You know, it's their performance, their arrangement, their choice. That just immediately caught my eye because we've just started and it is a difference to the original. For me, in the original, I think that opening is one of the most famous parts. Based on my experience and when this song comes on when I'm out in public, when that intro starts, everyone, you know, they just kind of smile and they go, oh yeah, it's this song. On that point of the catchy intro riff in the original, Tim's entry does have a kind of similar riff.
Pretty woman walking down the street, pretty woman.
Whereby he starts on the root. In Home Free's performance, the root is the D, which means we're in the key of D, whereas the original song is in E. so we're just one note down. Tim's part starts on the root, on D, moves up, and then returns to the root. And this is happening underneath the first lyrics that we're hearing. Pretty woman walking down the street. In the original song, when this part comes in, the first lyrics, all the instrumental parts underneath become a bit more static.
Pretty woman walking down the street.
And that more static nature does include the bass line. There is some movement in the bass line here, but it's certainly contained and it moves downwards instead of upwards. So in the home free arrangement, they've essentially incorporated the really standout feature from the original song, that intro bass riff, into their opening the first time we hear the lyrics. Smart choice, no doubt helps with time management, and we still get kind of the best of both worlds. And then probably the most obvious change to anyone who knows the original is the rhythm of the melody. In the original, the rhythms are equal. Pretty woman.
Pretty woman.
But in home free,
Pretty woman.
da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Home free here have more of like a swing rhythm. It's a bit more bouncy. Well, that was quite a lot to deduce from the first 4 seconds of the home free performance, but it goes to show that right from the off, home free have put their own swing on it, if you'll pardon the pun, and how important the opening of each of these performances can be. Moving forward a little bit.
I don't believe you, you're not the truth. Hey!
I like Tim's sections. 1, his voice is smooth, everybody loves it. And 2, everyone shouting hey there kind of removes the musical intricacies and harmonies. It's fun, it's not too serious, and also it's quite daring. And why I say daring is because the only musical bit going on is actually Tim's melody. There's no other notes being sung or tunefulness anywhere. It's just Tim's melody and the beat is very, very exposed. And then just after that,
Mercy. Pretty woman, won't you pardon me, pretty woman.
now this might just be me, but I really like when they all walk forward together. Very, very simple choreography, but I find it quite powerful and I don't quite know why. I guess maybe it has undertones of camaraderie, or it could just be that they want to be closer to the judges and to the audience. So this next little section I'm going to play I think is very catchy. Firstly, Tim's bass slide.
Yes, kid me. Hey, are you lonely just like me?
Which then passes on to Austin nicely towards the top of his register there in his chest full voice. Notice also how no one is using vibrato here.
Like me.
It's a flat note, it's more of a me instead of me. And singing it like that is a bit more of a raw sound, maybe a bit more relatable to a lot of people. It's less operatic. Obviously he uses his chest voice for a fuller sound. I can't get up there with my chest voice, I have to use falsetto. So it's this powerful raw sound. And then this next section I'm going to play to, again I just want to commend Tim's part.
Pretty woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, talk a while.
Musically here, this arrangement sounds quite full, like there's always something going on. But the other guys are singing in homophony, which means that they're all silent at the same time. It's only Tim's part here that's actually keeping things going. And he's rising up and down and breathing in between these constant notes, you know, kudos to him there. And then we have this nice little chromatic bit, which just means everything's sliding up by the smallest interval you can.
Smile to me.
I like that. It's cheeky. It's really not necessary at all. It's clever because it acts as like a harmonic stepping stone to then go back to the original key. We don't need it, but it just adds that little something to this performance. And the choreography here, all symmetrical. 2 brothers on one side. Very nice. And then we have this bit.
Stay with me.
That's the transition into the slower ballady section, which is quite fitting because it starts with a unison fall. They're all singing the same notes, falling down, which is quite typical of an ending of an overall piece of music. I thought it might have ended there, you know. But then we move into this slower section.
'Cause I need I'll treat you right.
And at first, at least to me, the accompanying do-do-do-do's by everyone seemed a little bit hasty, a bit quick, but the reason for this is that the meter has changed. You can kind of think of it like the beats per minute having changed. So now we've got dum, dum, bum, whereas before we had bum, 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 bum. But the main reason for this is now we're in what we call compound time. This basically means that whilst each beat is slower, it's split into 3 smaller beats. So bum, bum, bum becomes da 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 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 instead of before, which was just 1 2 1 2 1 2. Doing this allows for a more natural swing to the music because even though the beats themselves are longer in this slow section, they're split into 3 and it creates more of like a natural swinging element to the music, or swooning if you think of it like that. It's a clever choice of song this, having just 1 female judge. Alright, and then a bit later on we've gone now back to the previous time or meter. with a nice juicy home free chord there. Austin is singing the supertonic, which means that now we have a chord of A being sung. And the supertonic is simply the second note, which will be the B, which Austin is singing up here. We hear this quite a lot. I've heard it in home free and pentatonics equally, to be honest. When used well and in tune, I think it's quite a nice chord. And then we get this section.
Pretty woman, don't walk on by, pretty woman.
This is almost like audience participation in a way, and it's harking back to my previous point where I said that it was Tim who was moving the music along. Tim isn't singing his usual part here now, so this is what it would have sounded like previously without Tim's part. You see how it seems a lot more bare and empty almost. But that's not to say it's a bad thing at all. It's just different to what we've heard before. Everyone's loving it, puts emphasis on the crowd's participation and clapping, enjoying it. And then Tim comes back in and then we have this part.
Hey, hey, what do I see? Hey.
After Austin says hey, then all the other guys go there, hey, hey, again, but only twice. And then straight back into the more musical side of the arrangement.
Hey, yeah, she's walking back to me.
So this little mini section is almost like a summary of everything that we've heard previously. They're mixing the previous other sections together and combining them very smoothly. And then finally the ending.
Oh, pretty woman.
Well, nice way to end a lovely staggered chord there. Then finally finishing on the opposite of a nice staggered chord. Well, I loved that. I did. I thought it was really good, really fun, really tight performance. I also really loved their Ring of Fire sing-off performance. The quality of these sing-off performances from the two that I've seen are extremely high in my opinion. I think I'm going to be listening to this one quite a few more times. Alright, let's leave it there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'd appreciate a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.